What's up, guys? No special intro. We're just talking about some deeper level shit, and just want to introduce you guys to a little bit of how we actually like to think. But yeah, I know what you're saying about the dubstep. Yeah, I know what you're saying about. Ah, I just got that nice and an RPG. No, but yeah, the dubstep guns are dominant. And I spent quite a lot of parts just to see what I liked. But yeah, sorry, Slick. Back to what you were saying about the drip feeding of aliens.
Yeah, the well, just it's not even. I mean, the drip feeding, you know, probably a word in our minds most recently put in by Rockstar telling us that we were drip fed our fucking DLC, which I was very offended at.
Yeah,
But in any
yeah,
case,
fuck that
um,
shit.
but it's unfortunately probably a fitting word to describe how people need most critical thought concepts,
Mm.
and critical thinking meaning at one point in time to accept one concept is to discard another, and and the reason you do that is not because you don't need the concept, but rather that concept has been proven either obsolete, false, or even even if said concept is not false, its truth isn't as potent as other truths that are more relevant to other things going on.
Exactly.
And things tend to fall in that sort of category in science. It's not that
Yeah.
any manner of truth has to be discarded, but when certain truths are found above others, you don't need to acknowledge certain other truths because they're now while a certain fact may be true, it becomes to coin a phrase, a non-critical part of a larger concept.
Yeah, it becomes that sort of feature where, because a lot of people don't like to do critical thinking. And there are these people who like to say, hey, you guys don't want to think for yourselves, we'll get you out of this sort of shit. We'll sort you
You know
guys
that
out.
a good example when it comes to concepts and critical thinking I don't know if I'm going to put this together right. I hope I do. A car, when you take apart certain panels, it's got screws, and these screws are certain distances all the way around, and there's 16 screws to hold this thing in, and that's the way they designed it. Well, guess what? You can take 8 of them fucking screws out,
Yeah,
and that thing will still hold in there. And that's kind of that's kind of the reality of certain parts of scientific concepts, spiritual concepts, is that while that certain truth may be there, yes, it came with 16 there. Will it hold in without them screws? You bet your ass it will,
yeah.
because those screws are not critical.
It's
they
it's
they're
it's
they're
the whole
critical up to a
functioning
point.
machine. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at how we're evolving as humans, especially, I mean, we've become very dependent on what I personally see as nothing. I mean, look at
No,
I'll
I
say
would agree with
sat
that.
navs as a
There's a
perfect
grand.
example, and you'll know this is coming from your military background with your training and whatnot. You didn't need that. All you needed was a map and a compass. Look how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years man has circulated the globe
Without a, yeah, right. What did they do? They drew that shit on paper, didn't they? Cartography. They drew that shit on paper. They figured out a common way to achieve the same thing. You know, in terms of, okay, we're going to obey these laws, latitude and longitude. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, they had to come down to a common ground of understanding, regardless of language or background. Because people in the mountains of Tibet need fucking geometry like the people of New York City.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? They
Everyone
have their
needs it.
own needs, and that math is the fucking same. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
My
sorry. I'm
bit, my
talking all
bit.
passionate.
No, 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 no. This is why I wanted to set this video up. It's different from the usual shit I do, and this is the side of what people see, not just the hi guys playing Skyrim and killed fucking this world.
Yeah. No, I know it. I know it. I just didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of all that passion.
No, 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 dude.
Continue.
No, I interrupted you. Actually. No, I interrupted. Like, you were speaking, and I was like, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah. It's like
No,
the
proper British manner
values,
coming out.
the values
Sorry,
we
Irish
have
have.
today. Yeah, I did. No, but with the whole thought pattern and process, like with sat nav, like you don't need that shit in your car. What are you talking about? You just don't want to educate yourself on how to read a map. Like my mum taught me how to read map and navigate. I'm sorted. It's like a lot of people. I guarantee kids of today. Like I know I'm only 21 and I'm saying this from a complete. I mean, it'd be better probably if you were saying, you know, and you probably will agree with me completely on this. But when you were a kid, when I was a kid, there wasn't any of this. Stay indoors, play video games, all this stuff. These Xboxes.
It was, we were on the dawn of it. And you have to remember the stay indoors thing, that's what television did. That was the effect of television. When you know what I mean, is that's when families were just, that's when, you know, men and women were just glued to their shows, and, you know, it was considered a family thing, and there was family shows for you to watch, and just sit in front of the box.
Shows, some of the shit that is out there, man. It's brainwashing. I don't want to say it's brainwashing.
Oh, certain. No, you can say it. It's what it is. You can say it. You can say it. It's what it is.
Load of shite. I apologise. There isn't usually a lot of swearing in my videos, but we're in the exposure. We just think a little bit out there, just chatting away, getting our shit going, and the whole concept of all this that we must do as we're told to get by me done. I guarantee if the government fell tomorrow, yes, there'd be a little bit of anarchy, people would start, you know, getting their shit back, but give it 2 months, we'd all be working together.
Yeah, no, easily. It probably wouldn't even take that long. Probably should be sorted out within 30 days. And the reason is because people would collectively agree that the show needs to go on. Guess what? Everybody still needs to make money. Guess what? Those packages still need to get delivered. People ordered shit. Does it matter that the fucking government ain't there?
I mean, the whole concept of money, think of it like that. You don't even need money. That is a valueless paper.
Have you?
Really
okay,
is.
buddy. Okay, guess what? Now we're gonna. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you out on a date. What we need to do. I know it sounds bad. Don't worry.
Behave yourself.
I'm not even going 0.5% homo on you on this, dude.
0.5%.
Have you ever heard? I'm not even going that far, dude. It's still 0%. But have you ever heard of a movie called Zeitgeist? Have you seen that?
Oh, that rings so many bells. Oh, God.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to watch it. We're going to get in a party and we're going to watch it. We can invite any other critical thinking mind as well, but we need people that can handle the concept because I guarantee you there's 3 installments. 1 was good, just like The Godfather. 1 was good. 2 was the fucking money, and 3 was really good, but a little bit slower. You know, but it's all, they were all the movies done by the same guy, all documentary style, all very critical, fast thinking stuff. You could tell where he tries to draw it out a little bit with some bullshit special effects. You're like, come on, you know, part of you wants to fast forward, but in the end, he develops very interesting concepts, very intelligent way, and it's not, and the stuff that's in that movie is not necessarily the first I've heard of it. It's just the way these pieces of information tie together is freaking, and it largely focuses on America, but he makes sure to include the global example and to show where in different instances that these things are happening. And it has nothing to do with, you know, America in itself, that this is just one potent example of these indoctrinations and such. But we need to watch, and they're long movies, buddy. They're long movies. They're the first one's like 2.5 hours or whatever, but
lengthy films,
they're long, but they're worth it, man. They're worth it.
Another good film, if you haven't seen or heard of it, is Eli revealed a lot of questions about spirituality. No, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't want to press it. Sorry, the Book of Eli. I've got a lot of spiritual readings. You know, how he was completely blind. He couldn't see. No one knew that. real understood him to be this guy who was a pretty badass and cut motherfuckers, hands up machete. He was just going, he was a man of the Lord. He believed in Jesus, and the whole aspect there is of how religion can guide you at the same time as necessary. It's a very in-depth thing. That's what it is. Free on what I can find it down in the link in the description. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch that, Brian, the guy is just insane, dude. It's like one of those films. What's the book? It's 1964. It's reproduced all the shit that'd be going on today.
1984.
1984, sorry. 1964. It's been a while. I'm around to reading.
Well, I'm telling you, man. We can go to that book anytime you want. I love that book so much. I used to carry it with me.
My game's in super slow motion. It's always super slow motion. No, but it's like the whole concept of growing up with the governmental. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Well, there is stuff wrong with the government. There is stuff wrong with governmental and these big heads who like to think that these superpowers and above everyone else. But I won't get into that in this video because I'll be here till 5 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Certainly.
But as far as we know, oh yeah, we're happy, they're looking after us, all this stuff. Wrong. Why, for example, the colour blue? And I know it comes down to organising categories. It's very, very early in the morning. But it comes down to that. So, to anyone who watches this video up to this point, I want to know why is the number 3, why does it have to be there? Why can't the number 4 be the number 3? And I know in mathematical terms 3 is 3 because 1 plus 2 is 3, that sort of thing. But why does it have to be? Another why is the colour blue? I mean, you were stretching on this earlier, I'm just bringing it up now because I really wish I'd started recording earlier. It's such a we've been in this party like 3 hours now, talking 3 hours now. Solid. We've only got 12 minutes to shit and we've already exploded like 5 people's minds. But yeah, go back to the whole concept of why does the colour blue have to be the colour blue? Because someone who we call a teacher, to me, a teacher is someone who can educate you on life. So this revolves around cold-blooded. So if you watch this CV, much appreciation the lessons you gave me online. Brian in here, you've given me a lot of knowledge, being a gentleman who's considerably a little bit older than me. Also Ron, and just people I've met on here. There's a lot of this. He said, she said, fuckery, load of crap. Oh, you are this, you are that. Oh, blah blah blah. That motivation. But if you search for people, you can actually find people who can have a decent in-depth conversation with. And that's the main reason I got this on Xbox, is so we can talk about stuff like this. You know, you don't have to go start off.
Yeah, I've been secondary to the games for some time now.
The games are just here so we can
versus
talk.
the experience that came on. Yeah,
It's
versus
just
the
something to do with my
experience
hands.
that came on.
While we're doing it, I've completely.
It's either that or belligerent masturbation, and I don't believe you'd appreciate that in a party.
Pretty much, yeah. Fuck's sake. Yeah, but when it comes down to it, I just wish a lot of people, these could ask themselves the question, and understand why they're asking themselves that question.
But why, in and of itself, is a question that they avoid asking. They won't put that word in the front of any question that they ask, because that's the one that requires them to actually sit and think. And most people are well aware of the responsibility of their actions. They just are also acutely aware of the masses that are willing to ignorantly look the other way. You know, but in reality, we all know of the transgressions of of each other. You know, uh, people know when their friends are cheating on their significant others, or when a close friend is maybe spreading information. You know, we know.
Mm.
We just don't want to acknowledge it. We have feelings and certain inclinations and things of that nature when it goes on.
Nobody
You
wants
know,
to put the question out there
no,
of
no,
why these
nobody
people
does
are doing it.
because what happens, right? The first thing that happens is that usually that person who demanded the critical thinking will be shut down by those who aren't capable or who are uncomfortable with that, and immediately that's where the ridicule comes in. That's where people love to make fun of people who are critical thinkers and can go
Yeah.
above and beyond with a concept. Oh, what are you, Mr. Brainiac? What are you, smart guy?
Oh yeah,
Did you go
look
to
at you, look
college?
at you trying to
Did you
act
get your
all
master's
sciencey.
degree?
That really
Yeah.
annoys me because I'm thinking, no, I'm
Oh,
not trying
certainly.
to say I'm anything. I'm just trying to not enlighten, even if I don't enlighten someone else, or if I'm not trying to enlighten someone else. If I'm doing it for myself, there's a benefit there. Everything that everyone should do in life should at least try to have some form of benefit, which is like now with the YouTube and stuff that I'm trying to do, I'd like to make that into a benefit of where not only can I play my games, enjoy them, and maybe even make a little money on the side. I'm not in it for the money sort of thing, and it's also like I want to start making more videos like this. So making people more aware of what they're capable of. Like you don't need to have these
Well,
men in
buddy,
black suits looking at you.
definitely not. I want to touch on something. When it comes to YouTube, there is money, and the money is in the ability to sell. The ability to sell has to do with likability.
Mm.
That's all it ever had to do with. That is all. That's all. That's where. And where the money comes in YouTube is the amount of people watching you do whatever the fuck it is you do, and what companies have what products that can benefit from those customers, or
Yeah.
are those people that watch your channel their customers. That's where the money is. So it has to do with numbers, man. And all you do is make a good show. You do what you do. You're plenty likable, buddy. People gravitate to you. Has all you've got to do is do it.
I
You
know what
if
you're
you
saying
if
there.
you do it, they will
I
come.
just want to also, as well as playing games, giving people some tips and just showing a little bit of skill, that sort of crap. Yeah, that's all good, but I wanna for the people who do actually watch my videos. I know that's like 3 or 4 people at a time at the minute. Not oh Christ, what a that's slamming me. But yeah, aside from the verbo thing, it's the fact I'd like to be able to give some knowledge to people who don't understand. I mean, questions like why is this, why is that? Who is he
Well,
to say that I have to do
as
this? Who is that to say that I have to do this?
just know that the act of giving that knowledge isn't going to be any farther than the words that you speak. You're gonna,
Yeah.
as soon as you spoke those words, you've given all you can give, and there's nothing else. It's the unfortunate, in my mind anyway, it's an unfortunate truth of people and their willingness to accept concepts. And I think that, I think I'm probably getting a poor example from America.
Mm.
You know, the indoctrination is very heavy here. You know,
Extremely.
yeah, and so with that in mind, yeah, I'm probably seeing it in spades, and maybe I'm just disgusted at the spades I'm looking at. You know what I mean? Whereas if I went somewhere where that number isn't as potent, you know what I mean? And that's what I've always loved about England.
Yeah.
Is that it always perceived to me, even in movies, even in movies and television, it perceived to me that these people were way smarter and way nicer to each other far more often than not. There's gonna be assholes everywhere you go, but it seemed to me like nobody was really for that right off the bat, nine
No.
and a half times out of 10.
No.
And that's what I always loved, how potent it was, how the manners all the way up until the moment of death. It's legendary in my mind.
Mm. It's like, well, we were talking about concepts of different people, different countries. Like when we were talking about, you going to the Middle East and how everyone's like, oh, hello, how are you? Because you spoke a little. Like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking. Super means again. God damn it. I could have sworn I made a save further up. I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I'm veering off subject here. I see that fragment down there. I might use that to my advantage. Come on, lad, there his hand. Gonna try and answer from this distance. There we go. There we go. No, it's just different things that happen. Different times in people's lives. It's also for people. It's also like who are out there who like to try and question things. Like, if you do have Xbox and you have reach out with us, by all means, actually, no, tell him that. I have changed my game. Description. If you want to come on and talk to us at any point, send me your message. Because we like to have discussions like this. I mean, it also dies back to what William was saying to me as well. When we were talking with him, Brian, saying about all these people who like to just these guys. Oh, hello, how's your day going? Hello. How are you? Yeah, kids are fine. And they can't say anything after that.
Or they don't want to anyway. Maybe they can't, but they willingly don't. Which is, in my mind, even worse. That means somebody has cognizant knowledge of how they're,
Yeah.
breaking it down. Some people are aware of the convenience of the convenience of technology and phones and whatever, and their ability to not have to deal with people, and they love it. They gravitate toward it. It's their perfect excuse to always keep to themselves and focus on themselves.
I haven't kind of thought about it like that. Which is why I like the group of people we have on here that we talk to in a minute, which I won't name any names because I've got no reason to, but removed a few people off the friends list because they just turned out to be just not really the sort of people we want to be talking to. Too self-centered, not willing to talk to one another about each other's issues and things like that, just wanting to be like cocks basically, but yeah. Just like having the whole proceeds of Xbox. I mean, look at GTA, that's a perfect example. There is so much people can do with Grand Theft Auto. There is so much you can do. You can go exploring. I mean, just a simple point of going for a push bike ride on GTA sometimes brings me the greatest of
Right.
Because where I live, it's very motorway heavy. There's not really a lot of safe places for me to ride, so I tend not to go on bike rides too often. But being able to have that sort of freedom in GTA to do that sort of thing, you can go for a walk. I mean, I was planning on doing that. I was going to entitle it like the 1,000-mile walk or something. I was going to walk my character from the very bottom of the map down to the blocks all the way down to the very top. And I still would like to do that and get that done one day, but that's something for another day. But the whole process of people coming onto GTA going, right, I'm going to resupply my businesses, and I'm just going to go kill a load of people. Ah, this was great fun. So what have you done for the last 5 hours then? Just don't start shouting at your screens at me and Brian for saying this shit. Don't start going, you're wrong. Think about what you've done for that time. What have you actually done? You've killed a few people. What do you fucking do? Isn't that absolutely wonderful? Why couldn't you have gone on there and had some fun? You could have, actually saying that depends on whether people like to do a lot of the killing, but basically what I'm trying to say here, because this is fucking incessant rambling, what I'm trying to say is there is so much more to both Xbox and real world that you can do. there is so much more you can be doing out there. There are so many different
Then
things you can experience.
I agree. Yeah, the expression of the Xbox is grander, definitely, than the mere plugging into the games.
Yeah.
You know, because you know here, I mean, even the friends part of the game, when you make reference to GTA and you know, ask a person a question like, what have you done for the last 5 hours or whatever, or even 1 hour, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 5 hours, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, it gets passed over too much, the act of befriending somebody or even meeting somebody. You know, even in a social situation like this, in which all you're doing is just playing a similar game to another person, or with another person.
I mean, that's why I like playing Fallout, because it is a single player game, but at the same time it's not. If you've got someone else who's playing at the same time, you'd be like, oh dude, something other, where this is something you can do with Fallout that I find a lot of people cannot do and function with in GTA. It's come on, help each other out, and get on with it. So, for example, you were saying about the load order the other day, Brian. You were in there talking to me in the party about the load order. That instantly made me think, and now my game doesn't crash half as much. In fact, it hasn't actually crashed yet.
But what did you change around? I don't even remember what information I gave you. What did you change?
You were saying about the so I've got the settlements mod. I've got the, what's the big vault called, cheat room mod, and I had the cheat room at the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, when you were saying about putting the bigger mods at the top so those are in a little bit more easily, I put that cheat room at the top. Now my game doesn't crash half as much, dude. And it's like the shared knowledge of like, oh, Brian, you never guess what I've just seen. There's this in this area. And you're like, oh, didn't know that, dude. Thanks very much. That's something I find you can't do on GTA unless you physically try to help the person. Unless you say to someone, hey, look, just stop shooting at me for 5 seconds. No, I didn't have a gun out. I just want to talk to you for 5 seconds, buddy. It's not going to kill you just to be a human being for 5 minutes, not this mindless zombie that just wants to come on here, kill everything and go off to bed, then go off to your job that you're probably not happy with, come home to the woman who doesn't love you, and start slapping people on GTA, then going, ah, you're good, and ah, you're good. People can get pleasure out of taking screenshots of beating someone on a game. You need help. Those are the sorts of people who genuinely need help. Fair enough if you're doing a 1v1, both enjoying it, you're having a bit of a laugh with it, that might say, yeah, that's fucking ideal. But when you've got these people who do it, just go, ah, I got one kill up on you, that's crap. What has your life come to? Really?
When they're holding it, that they're trying to hold that thing like a true trophy over your head.
Exactly. And it's like if someone very recently was saying that's very good. I'm there if it makes you happy and some more kills. I'll just stand there and let you have 4 standard kills. If that makes you happy, you know, you get these people like, oh, this is great. So I just don't understand. Like, you don't gain anything out of that. Brings me back to the question. Is why do you do that? What's wrong with the mental proceeds of the men who just want to do the same thing day in day out? I'm not being funny. When I was out of work for a very long time, yeah, I was on Xbox. But I tried to make it as what's the word I'm looking for? I tried to make it have the most variety as possible. So I wasn't just on here going, oh, I'm killing you. I was going on, playing a bit of Skyrim, a bit of Fallout, this, that, 1, 2, half dozen, this, that, 1, 2, like, me and Brian, especially, ages, working together on GTA, and Fallout, giving each other tips, oh, dude, you know this is here, you know, you get this a bit quicker, do that, all that sort of good stuff. Whereas a lot of people just come on, a lot of people, 4 or 5 people in a party. Oh, I got a great idea. Let's start shouting abuse at someone. Let's start saying, oh, you're rubbish this, you're rubbish that. Yeah, that's my rant over it. That's my rant over it. Also, there's a music artist I'd like to give a shout out for the UK who's been quite influential to me. I just found 2 skeletons that sat on the bench next to a river, next to a pond. The pond obviously looked over and died. That's sentimental. Oh god, legendary death. I fucked up by coming to this area, didn't I? Oh Jesus, oh Jesus.
Oops. Sorry.
What is that Deathclaw attacking? Right, I'm gonna take this time to Alpha. Sorry, I'm really off track. Really.
Oh, you're alright.
What are we even talking about?
How great it is to get high, I think.
The feelings, man. You don't know what I've been through, dude. No, but you sound like I'm about to say something that probably means something, but nothing's gonna happen. Oh, I'm so dead. Okay, this legendary Deathclaw keeps not killing me. I'm rather confused. Oh, come on, reload already. What have I got in the way of weapons that's going to do some damage to this thing? I literally haven't. Oh, Daddy got a missile launcher with 4 missiles. Come on, Deathclaw. Yeah, basically what we're trying to get out of this whole conversation is the people who can't ask the questions that can elevate them to a higher dimensional, transition of thinking, try it. Just try sitting there, do some research online about different things. Anything we might have mentioned tonight, and I guarantee some of the stuff you'll find will blow your fucking minds. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I could not agree more.
Oh, this Deathclaw is desperate to get this kill on me. Oh, how did Stimpaks. Oh, you know what I need to use? I think I've got some buff out. Wait, what does Cherry do? HP plus 50. HP. Jet slows time. Slowly slowed. Never. I hate the fact that Deathclaw's moving so quickly. Oh, I need to heal up again. God damn it. Sorry, I've gone completely on track now.
It's alright.
Jet. Medics. Damage resistance. 25 seconds. I need to stim back. Oh. Psycho Jet. Yeah, that'll do it. but I made a load of these cans. Oh, the German MP40 saves my fucking skin. Oh. You know I wanted a melee weapon. Mutant Slayer's Chinese officer's sword does 50% more damage against super mutants. Oh. Yes. Anyway, yeah. This has been your boy Big Bear, signing off. Thank you very much for being here for this, Brian. Always happy to have you on board. And yeah, we will catch you guys in the next one. Stay beautiful, and remember, keep your mind open, focus, whatever you need to do, whatever you have to get, you can do it. All you need is yourself.